let's go up here and let's start expanding this. And first and foremost, I think what I'm actually going to do is connect to you, go to main, grab some iron, and keep those on me as well. Take out our welder, and we're going to go back in there because I just realized we don't have a bottle, do we? Yeah, these are getting a little bit low. We'll take you out there. And we're just going to go ahead and actually cut out some of the flooring here because I need a connection point that I can access our inventory and everything from inside the safety of our base without flying off into space. So we're going to cut out, I think, 3 panels here. There should be just enough space for us to get a connector in. Oh, look, there's actually already a connector right here. We'll just take this out and put a 3-way or a 6-way in here instead, which requires those interior plates we had, which is not too bad. Plop. We'll put another one here. Plop. And then that will basically keep this thing airtight and give us a path leading up into the base. And what we can do now is, as soon as I find a connection point, which is right beside me, grab the supplies we need, which should be pretty simple and straightforward, even though I can't remember. But you don't need to see me grab all the supplies and run back and forth 20 times, because you've already seen that in previous episodes of me just floundering and running in circles. And there we go, all done, just in time for the lawnmower sounds of the outdoors to be flowing their way into here. Slightly unfortunate that. Okay, and now that we're up here, we're actually going to go ahead and do one more of these, I've decided. Then we're going to do a cargo container on top of that. And the reason I'm doing it like this, instead of just having the cargo container flush with the ground, is I'm thinking in the future we might want these pipes to continue to go up above us. That way we can put a large thruster section up there, and I'm thinking we might have a just very odd looking ship, even odder than we currently have. Where are you? There you are. Yeah. And as you can see, I do have a huge amount of supplies just sitting about inside of everything now. Because, like I said, I've just been queuing stuff up as I'm sitting around, and as I'm working, I'm like, oh, let's queue up a couple hundred of these and a couple hundred of those, and I just grabbed a fair amount of iron, so let's queue up all those, and so on and so forth. So, tons and tons of supplies just sitting about now, which is great. And now we can go ahead and weld this up, and we need more stuff. Yay. And there we go. Nice cargo container, and this will make it really easy to work on the interiors of all of these areas now, because we can, of course, just simply go into there and grab what we need. In the past, I would have suggested doing the top thing here, but as I showed, that's not really a solution, because it's bored. Alrighty, so let's get on to planning out some of these loftier sections of this ship. First and foremost, we're going to want to put our cockpits in, and we're going to do that actually right here. In fact, we're going to future-proof. We're definitely going to be adding some oddities once we get up higher in the ship, so we're going to put those 2 in like so. We're going to take one of you guys and put you here, and then we're going to take another one and put you right about here, I think. There we go. So now we'll have, basically these are spots for our cockpits. And in fact, we could go ahead and future-proof, get those cockpit thingies up and running and ready as soon as we go ahead and Tim locked this nonsense right here. Hopefully that'll work. Oh, it won't. Did you see that? At the very end, I put the wrong thing in. There we go. That should hopefully work. We'll drop our inventory that we're holding. Batman music for some reason. And go ahead and grind down the old cockpit from the station down below. Which should be right over here. By the way, did you notice just this huge mess we've made here? All the stone that we just dropped, the little bits of metal around, all over the place from whatever the hell this was, I can't even remember. Scrap metal is all over the place. If we had some sort of magnet that just suck up scrap metal, there's stuff everywhere. Oh, by the way, I also ground down some of the pipes here. Oh, and we apparently had a bunch of metal there. 7 metal at least. Wowzers. Anyway, enough of getting distracted. Let's go ahead and get rid of this little flight seat thing right here. And actually, let's see, will we be able to hold all that? Nope. Yeah, it's just computers. I saw 100 and thought, oh god, but it was just computers there. So yeah, we should be able to hold everything from this. We officially no longer have a control panel for anything, and the lawnmower is once again back. Don't even know if it'll be picked up on the microphone, but I do know it is very annoying to hear. What is one to do? One cannot stop the world from cutting grass. And let's go ahead. I think this is a good enough page. Remove that cockpit, and we'll search up seat, because I quite like using the flight seats. Coolio. And then, the reason I put a platform here is I've got no idea why I put a platform there. That doesn't make any sense. I think I intended, in the back of my head, to put these in like this. And flip you around to there, and then flip you around like that. There. That makes a lot more sense to me. As you see now, the idea is we'll have one cockpit facing downwards and one facing upwards, so that we can control the ship either way. So one facing that way, and then one facing, in fact, we're changing this again right now. So this one is going to be facing, there we go, forward. So we'll actually be able to fly it in a planet's atmosphere or just out in space. And we'll have 2 different directions that it shall be flying. Yeah, I think that should be good enough. We might change that around just to be facing the other way. That way we can face it directly at the sun more easily instead of facing its arse. It'll basically be its well-known face. Which is kind of terrifying to say it like that. Either way, we're set up now. We can go ahead and actually weld this up. We're missing a few interior plates. What are we missing for you? A whole bunch of everything. But either way, that is basically setting up our cockpit. And we actually have a cockpit spot now. Yay! Let's go ahead and grab some of that stuff. And there we go, everything is welded up now, so we have our proper cockpit for when we're on planets and just drifting about them, and then we have our cockpit for once we're actually in space and want to point ourselves about. That should work pretty well. As for the rest of this room, let's actually go ahead and start planning out how these walls should be ascending into the heavens. And I think we're going to be doing that using a lot of steel. So let's go to our main storage, drop off some of this stuff. So wonderful having the TIM system, knowing it's going to automatically sort everything for me. And I say, let's just go ahead and do it like this. So, boop, boop, boop. Boop. One right there, one right here. There we are. So this section is pretty simple and straightforward. Yes, indeed. It's basically just going to have one nice little outcropping from where it was earlier. Instead of having it arch down into a sort of point in the ceiling, it's just going to pretty much go straight up from here too. So once again, when we're down like this, it'll now just have this nice little outcropping. And as I itch my nose, because suddenly my nose itches terribly, I think we might be actually pretty alright now to go ahead and do LIGHT. And I think, oh, it won't. Blocks inside blocks, where are you? Also appears that if you hold Alt and let go, oh my god, that's so lame that Alt brings your camera back down to the middle point. That is a insult to everything. I can understand why you'd want that when you're in a ship, but my god, it's annoying to me. So we're going to go ahead and go to our controls. Not defaults, where are they? Navigation tools, not spectator, just navigation then? Where's Alt? I see no button that just says Alt. Am I blind as a bat here? Is it not here? Is it elsewhere? Is it in general? No, of course it's not. Is it in system? Is it, oh, left Alt? Yep. Hold the look around. Yes, I want to hold the look around. I don't want you to automatically bring my camera back to the middle, though. Have it like a triple tap or something for that, you silly, silly sausage. Very, very unfortunate. Sorry about my mood today. It's been a rough day in Florida. If you've watched the news recently, I won't say any more, but it's just horrible when such things happen. Okay, I will say more because that's just way too cryptic. There was a mass shooting in Orlando, which is about an hour away from me, so it's never a nice thing to hear about those. Anyway, I don't really want to dwell on it. I would much rather think about other things at the moment. I am an idiot. I know this sort of like slowly welling stuff up, I actually don't really mind it, but it is sort of time inefficient, so I should be going. Alrighty, so I'm going to go ahead and do what probably people are wanting me to do anyway, before they probably get distracted by whatever I was talking about. I'm going to go ahead and put in basically a layer at a time, and then take the welding ship over the whole thing and weld it up. I did tweak the welding ship, the Flying Sausage's inventory, so it can hold a little bit more sometimes, and sometimes not in some cases, because it did get full up on inventory, and that should just allow us, because I've tweaked it, to be able to carry enough stuff to actually weld all this up, because I upped the amount of metal, to be more exact, that it can carry. Because I noticed in the past when I was doing some of this, because obviously I've welded up this one layer already, we ran out of inventory space pretty quickly. It was a little bit unfortunate. There we go. I think that should do. Do we want to go up one more layer on that? I think we will, but we're going to do this one layer at a time when it comes to welding it up. So I'm just going to go ahead, go through here, place all these in, and then weld it all up. And I don't think you need to see all that. Maybe I'll fly over. Nah, you know what? I think honestly, all of this floor, this layer that we're adding in right now, is just very simply going to be exactly the same as the layer below it. And then after this layer, we're going to have some alteration. So, you guys don't need to see all this. Or do you? Actually, I've just decided while staring at this that this piece right here, I think would be fairly interesting. Yeah, if we were to actually go ahead and do this, making the medical room a little bit more squat, a little bit more almost industrial. Yeah, so now I can go ahead and have this nice little block here set in like that. So the window is sort of stuck in there and very nice and snug. And for this, we'll just leave this like squared off like that. It actually doesn't bother me. And then we're going to do much the same over on the other window side, going ahead and just really quickly placing these in. By the way, if you don't know, I rotate my mouse or the blocks so quickly with, oh, we don't want those like that, with a Razer Naga as my go-to mouse because it has all the buttons on the side. I have just simply mapped the insert home and page up and page down buttons and all that stuff to the different buttons on the side of the Naga, so it's just really, really quick. In fact, there was a lot of people when Planet Nomads came out, or was first announced, I should say, and they had that little tiny, like, hey, build a ship thing, I didn't like it one bit, just simply because of their rotation block system was like, just scroll your mouse wheel and it'll switch between them all, and I'd much rather have the direct control, so wasn't too happy on that. Definitely excited for Planet Nomads now, though, seeing how Space Engineers has been letting me down a little bit, hurting my feelings by not being, slightly more glitch-free, I could say. Also, they changed their animation system. The guides for modding is just completely ridiculous. And I spent 9 hours getting a mod to work, which I still haven't really finished because I've been very busy. Thank you those who did actually donate, though, to help me keep going on my Patreon. I do have some updates there. Link in the description below. Pluggity-plug, all that nonsense that everyone is supposed to do. Alrighty, I think we've gone ahead and put in enough stuff here. This roof, we're going to go ahead and cap off now. I think we'll just have it a squared off roof. Do we want to... Nah, see, we got too many, like, yeah, I think... Yeah, this does not match with this, or else that piece would have made look better over here. This needs to be changed around, because that was really annoying, wasn't it? Those not facing the right way, silly block. Yeah, it'll look much better like this. There we go. See, now that's nice and heating that hard edge there instead of having that opening gap thing. Cool. So we'll go ahead and weld this up. This should look all pretty good. The computer room's supposed to be even snugger than the actual medical area. The medical area is, it's pretty snug with these little things, but I think it looks kind of cozy. So I think we'll be alright once we get all that welded up. As for what comes next after this floor, I'm kind of pondering maybe curving this in like this. Oh, that does look pretty cool, doesn't it? We have to do that now. We don't have an option. I mean, it'll just look so bloody cool. Flip that around. Ooh, a little bit of lag there. You go here, and then you go here. Awesome. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. That looks pretty cool. Oh, jeez. I don't know how it's going to link up with the other side, though, because now we have to carry this down one more block, I believe. Flip this around? What? Oh, I'm getting confused here. What's going on? Yes, like that. That's for the block we were looking for. And then like this. Cool. Yeah, it's going to be a little confused, but we'll figure it out as we go along, I guess. Alrighty, there we go. Got most of that. Most of it is a few blocks I wasn't able to reach. Let's dock this ship back up. That will ensure that everything here is restocked, because basically the ship has all those TIM blocks in it, or at least all of its cargo containers TIM, not locked, but set up so that the TIM system will automatically refill them. And this, there we go, it's just suddenly started working. Lock those up, cool. I'm afraid that this ship is going to start looking like it has a furnace on top of it, with like one large room there, and then a large tower shooting up. That might just happen, unfortunately. I'm not sure there's any way really to fight that. Yikes. That's not ideal. Well, luckily, if both these rooms look kind of random and odd, we might be alright for that then, and it won't actually look like that. Either that or it'll look like somebody has some really janky testicles. Alrighty. God dang it, look at this. Guys, come on. How long has this glitch been there and it's still there? You can put this big slant piece in here and suddenly this piece goes ahead and has an opening in it. Here, I'll go right up there so you can see at the top or bottom right, you can see what piece of metal it is, and we got a big gap there. Very, very wonderful. Look, we're probably going to get them right here as well as we finish this up. So let's go ahead and weld these up, see if any pieces of metal just vanish here. Oh, yep, they're on the left. They just vanished. Brilliant. Brilliant, you numpties. Brilliant, 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 brilliant. Brilliant. Just fantastic. Okay, I'm going to go ahead now and cap this off, because I think this is as high as we want these rooms to go when it comes to interior space. You guys, I think we're just going to have very, very simple straight-up walls right here, and it appears I've run out of metal, and unfortunately we can't just grab something out of the top of the medical bay, because it's stupid like that. So grab some metal there. We're also going to go ahead and switch out our bottles, because we are running into a spot of bother on those, so doop doop doop, there we go. Keeping 3 hydrogen bottles on us at all times. And yes, our oxygen's at 100, so it means our mask should be open. Cool. And for this one, we're going to go ahead and actually right here, and then go ahead and put one of these right here. So there we go. Nice big windows there in the medical area. Because of course, even though it's a very important room that you want to be kept safe, it's also somewhere you want to be somewhat relaxing and nice and open like. So that's why we're doing things as we are there. When it comes back to here, we're just going to block this off. Blink. And do we want to just have a piece of metal here? Let's do this. Let's do it like this. So it's a connection point. And hopefully we won't have everything looking too terrible. And then over here on the other side, we're basically up to the same point here already. So we're once again going to go ahead and just and put our connection point in like this. There we go, everything is together. And we can of course be having a nice shiny slanted ceiling right here to have everything lead down. It's cool, so that's not too bad. Kind of a big flat spot right there I'm not too keen on. In fact, we can actually fix that pretty easily, I think, just by going ahead and getting rid of this block, and then getting rid of this block right here. Yeah, that should do the trick, maybe? I don't know, we might have a small gap at the bottom. Yeah, I think we'd have a small gap if we put one of these in like that. That would kind of work, but then what about this? Dear me, oh my. There's no easy way to make this work the way I would like, so we're honestly just going to go 2 blocks straight up right there. And test really quickly, can we still run through there? We can. So I think we're just going to honestly leave it like that. I hate it, though. I hate it. Or we're just going to go... See, that looks so much better, but it's got a gap. We need to stop there's no easy way. Screw it, we're going back to exactly where we were. And I build all this stuff out. I know exactly what everyone's thinking. Sage, that's light armor. It's light, but it's also still technically pretty damn heavy. Yes, I'm aware it does have some weight issues, but I think it's the lesser of two evils. We can't exactly use interior blocks to get all the shapes you want, and once we're in space, the weight isn't going to be as important. It'll mean the ship might be sluggish, but at least the ship will get around, and we can always go ahead and add more thrusters. And remember, our plan now is that once we're up in space, we're going to be extending this ship heavily, and we're actually going to be adding in a large, basically maneuvering nacelle up here, a big, huge thing above this. It's just going to help the ship maneuver. For the time being, basically, our only real brakes are just these. We got all these tiny little thrusters all over for maneuvering, so it's super duper, well, unfortunate really. But once we're up there, we're going to work on expanding all that, and it'll be a lot easier to work on things once we're up there, because we'll also be able to go ahead and toss together another construction ship that is a lot smaller and, well, more streamlined. And let's not back into those welders, because they're still online. Yanksy doodle dandy. Coolio. Alrighty, and now that we're up to this point, I think what we are going to do is simply go ahead and box it off with this stuff. Also, the sun is now out and about, so this was going to make looking at and building things a lot easier. Yeah, let's just go ahead and get to it. I don't think I need to babble too much on what I'm doing. It's pretty simple and straightforward at this point. Yeah, even this part here, just so you know, it's being separated. There we go, that's another layer up and running. I think we're going to leave it there for today. Maybe just place a few more blocks, because I think this episode is probably already going to be about 30 to 40 minutes long. Yeah, I think that's enough. So we'll just place a few more blocks and call it quits for now. I think we've made a lot of progress. I did do quite a bit off screen, I know, but it was a lot of just simply, you know, welding stuff up by hand, really. What do we want to do? Let's got some stuff in our inventory. We'll really quickly, just right before we end it, grab a few of you, and go ahead and put in some gyroscopes. Because I'm thinking we're going to put some gyroscopes right around here. They're sort of out in the open, and, you know, obviously could just be blasted away in 2 milliseconds if anything wants to attack them, but, well, a lot of our ship is honestly very open, so I don't think it'll hurt. And I do know that once we get up into space, and even just taking off, we're probably going to want a fair amount of gyroscopes instead of just the 4 that we have darted about down here. In fact, I was even thinking another spot for a gyroscope that would be pretty nice and relatively hidden is this little crawl space right here. Like, we can stick some more gyroscopes just down in here. Unfortunately, sticking gyroscopes in here is a little bit, you know, less ideal, because we have to bring everything here by hand, and in fact I've decided we're not doing that because I don't want to have to carry 600 steel plates down there, as well as everything else. Righty ho ho. So yeah, that is that. I think I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, I think this is pretty good. We'll cap this off right here just by having, like, basically these coming into the center like this. Blip, just so you know how this thing will look probably at the beginning of the next episode. There, you, and what's more, you, and you. No real windows in here, slightly unfortunate, but I think it'll be fine in the end. And because it's so short, it hopefully won't look like a furnace then. Yay! And we'll just have something else coming out of the top to go up to all of the other machines and all of that fun stuff. And yeah, I'll carry on with these. I could have used the small pipes, but I wasn't sure where my ceiling and all that was going to end, so for the time being I didn't, did I? Alrighty. Well, that's that. Thank you a bunch for watching, guys and gals. Next up, we're going to continue building on this thing, and I think we are getting right around the time when we are going to take off. I need to go poke the ice fields and all those little bumpities I've stuck in there a little tiny bit more. But once I've done that, we should have all the ice we need in those tanks, and hopefully these thrusters will be enough. Hopefully. That could be very bad if they're not enough, couldn't it? I mean, that could be nightmare fuel. It could be something that's going to require me to actually stop and add another thruster. Maybe we'll add one more down thruster right here before takeoff, just so we have one more, because I am a bit terrified of us not making it. Yeah. Anyway, guys and gals, that is that. Thank you a bunch for watching, and I shall see you all next time. Ta-ta.